Hello, Gus.
Hello, Bernie.
And Gavin.
Hello, Bernie.
Hello, Gavin.
Hello, Gus.
So, guys, on the podcast, the Rooster Teeth podcast, we have talked in the past about games like an MMO that would have a permanent death. That if you died, you were permanently dead.
We talked about it on this podcast, this week's one.
We did. And we also talked about how cool it would be to play a game that was the simulation of an actual zombie apocalypse.
Right. Not like Left 4 Dead, but actual like simulation.
Right. And I think I found that game. This is DayZ, which is a mod for the game Arma2. Gus, have you ever heard of Arma2?
No.
Arma what?
Okay,
I've never even heard of Arma1.
So this is a rarity. This is actually a PC achievement hunter game. You know, we very rarely do PC games in achievement hunter videos, but this is one I absolutely had to play. So Arma2 is the franchise that is the sequel to the Operation Flashpoint franchise.
What?
Yeah, it's like a franchise sequel. I don't know, but
That doesn't make any sense.
I first heard about it because people started sending in after we talked about it. They said, you got to play this DayZ game.
I don't understand how different franchise could be a sequel to... Oh, wait, is that the same dude?
Yeah, who knows?
That guy?
It
So
must be.
was
Same
Operation Flashpoint Arma1?
So here's the deal. So DayZ, you're a survivor in the zombie apocalypse, and you start here with a can of beans, 2 cans of beans, and a pistol. And that's basically it. You start on a beach, and the rules are just survive.
Private Bernie.
Yeah,
ready for action.
Private Bernie.
Are there ranks?
Well, no, it's based on a military shooter.
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
it's like a very realistic military shooter where you'll see in a while here, like when you can aim and, you know, how you react to pain and things like
Look
that.
at the size of the map.
It's pretty nuts, Gavin. So you don't even start with a map. There is a key to hit, I think it's M to bring up the in-game map. That's blank when you start because you don't have that, but you can find a map.
Oh, is that zombie?
Yeah, that's our first zombie.
What's he doing?
Looks like a chimp.
Yeah, they're crouching zombies. They're kind of annoying. So here's an actual walking zombie that you might be more used to.
That
Now,
could
is
just be a
like
drunk dude.
grandmother?
That's not a zombie. That's just... He's got lost in his allotment.
And so you can crouch and like usually you walk around and crouch. It's kind of like this extended stealth mode.
Look at the way the grass flattens down. That's pretty cool.
Well, that's pretty important because later on when you start running into survivors, the environment is so massive that movement's a big deal. So when you see grass getting mashed down from a distance, then you can actually see a survivor.
No, that's
creeping up on
awesome.
you.
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Does that stay down? Like, can you tell by whether someone's been here by whether the grass is flat?
You know, that's a good question. I did find
that would be awesome.
I
Like,
did find a
persistence of
path
that?
at one
Oh,
point.
really?
Yeah, but I think it was built into the map.
The zombies look very... I don't know. They're not interested in you.
Well,
How close can you get to them before they go mental?
See these icons on the right side? There's one that's an ear and one that's an eye. That's like how visible.
You've got 2 eyes and an ear at the moment.
Yeah, I have
2 eyes and an ear.
But here, this is the big deal. So you're scavenging for equipment. This is the big deal in the game because when you die, you lose all your equipment.
So it's just a random gun you found.
I've never found a rifle before, any other kind of gun ever. And in this demonstration, I found a rifle right away. But I've also learned from videos I've seen online, if you fire that rifle, you got to watch the fuck out because it's so much louder than an average gun that it will draw in zombies from wherever.
So I guess the radius of sound that comes out is bigger.
Yeah. And so here's the inventory system. This can be a little confusing the first time you play, how they handle inventory, but what was on the ground was on the left side there, and I could transfer it to the right to get it in my inventory.
Okay.
You need to fill
I
in
can see
those-
why that's confusing.
Like here, there's 4 road flares on the ground. I could get them over.
And you've got one. Okay.
But I've only got so many slots. But road flares become very important later, and I'll show you why. Now, okay, guys, I always make fun of walking games. There's a lot of walking in this game. And so I fast-forwarded here, going to the next town.
Do you ever see trains on those tracks coming through?
No, but, you know, it's a weird thing. You get to the point where you have nothing, and I've seen people with,
shit.
I alerted
Is that
a zombie.
zombie?
So here's my strategy when I alert a zombie.
hole in us.
You got to run away because if you fire your gun, you'll just alert the other zombies. So you run in a direction where you don't see any zombies, and I'm switching to first-person mode here so I can turn around and shoot the guy.
Oh my god, the
he's
motion
right
blur
on
makes
you.
Whoa!
Yeah, he's right there. So they're like slow Romero zombies when they're walking around, but then when you alert them, they're more like 28 days later zombies where they run like maniacs.
Do you have to shoot them in the head, or can you do enough damage?
Well, it's better to get them a headshot, but I think you can shoot them if you shoot them enough times in the chest. But I'm looking around here because I know something's been alerted. Sure enough, here comes another zombies.
It's a chimpanzee.
It's
Chimpanzee.
Chimpanzee.
Yeah, as Gavin would say, this is DayZ, and I'm trying to pull off a headshot here, and I just can't do it. I'm really embarrassed by this.
Looks like you had him there.
Yeah, I know.
You shot him a lot of times. I wouldn't be that. That was terrible.
Yeah, now it's telling me to reload. It's telling me to reload. I'm just click, click, click.
You know, I've been away from PC games for a long time. I can't believe the scale of this place. Like, you can see way into the distance. The draw distance is incredible.
Yeah, it's nuts. And you can see, like,
There's a
guys
lighthouse.
walking. Oh, I didn't even know the lighthouse was in that shot. I discover it later, but I missed it there because I was so panicky. And you'll see here.
Yeah, you're shaking. What is...
So that's from pain. And so in the bottom right here, you can see my blood is blinking, that cross in the bottom right.
Oh, and your blood number's going down there.
So I have to bandage myself. Yeah, and that blood is like your hit points. You start with 12,000 bloods.
How many bloods have you lost?
And I've lost about
3,700, 3,800 bloods.
Yeah,
Holy
I'm losing bloods fast. And so you bandage yourself to kind of stop from bleeding. And I'm shaking here because I'm in pain, so I would take a pain reliever, either morphine or just the normal pain reliever, and that'll calm me down. I think I edited that part out, but I do that a little bit later.
Huh.
You can't be shooting up in YouTube videos.
No. That would violate the terms of service, I think.
Metal Gear didn't one of the Metal Gear games have something similar where you take like diazepam to slow yourself down to like calm yourself so you could snipe better?
Oh,
shit.
Oh, my God.
Here I've picked up a pack of zombies, so I employ my
It
strategy
looks like a
of
church
run.
parish running
Oh
at
my
you. What's
God.
going on?
And every time I'm firing my weapon, it's alerting other zombies.
The priest brought his whole congregation towards you.
Like, sure enough, here comes some other chimpanzee zombies. God, and it's just like, you're just like,
What
and now I'm
makes
like,
them-
fuck it, fire.
Use your rifle.
I just didn't give a shit at this point.
Wow, that was good. You got two of them there.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, eventually you're just like, you're trying to take measured shots, and you're like, screw it, I just got to get out of this. So if I kill the walking zombies, then the crouching ones are a little bit easier to kill.
Yeah, that's future Bernie's problem.
Yeah, right, exactly. So I'm running, and I think I'll reload here if I'm smart, and then I'll turn back around and try
So
to
you
take
had
out the rest
5
of them.
zombies on you, and you're using your pistol. At what point do you use your rifle?
The rifle wouldn't be good for that.
Why? Wouldn't
Because
it,
you
wouldn't it
can't fire as
penetrate
quickly.
Wouldn't it penetrate more?
Yeah, if they're not in a fucking straight line, you idiot.
You'll see, I'll use my rifle a
5
little
of
bit
them.
later when I get to a higher vantage point and I want to look around. So
That's actually really
Wow, look
creepy.
at you. Sharp shot Burns.
I know.
Is he retreating?
No, he's flanking.
Advancing to future victory?
Because I'm like, uh-oh, he's in the bush there flanking me, and then sure enough, some guy comes at me on my left here.
So how
You're constantly looking around like this for other zombies, and sure enough, they're always sneaking up on you. Look
Oh,
at that
nice
shit.
head.
Fucking
Headshot.
got him.
dude, the motion blur when you turn is pretty cool.
And it gets more aggravated like the more you're running and the more your heartbeat is up. And it tracks a lot of stuff. Like you have to keep up with food, you have to keep up with water.
So you're actually in a public server right now with other people. That's what that chat is down the bottom. You're like you're talking to other survivors.
Yeah, and when you start firing your gun, you'll see people coming up going, "Who the hell is firing in the town?
All right,
Stop
so you
firing!"
you can really grief and
You
just
can
run
grief,
through the
just run
town
through
with
the
your
town.
rifle.
Shoot a whole bunch and then log out.
Yeah, what happens is I read a story online of a guy who ran into 4 survivors, and here's great. So there's these little moments of discovery all the time in this game. Like there, I find this lighthouse. We actually saw it in a previous shot, but here's where I'm finding it for the first time. And I thought, okay, I'll go live in a lighthouse for a little while.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. And so you make your way here. You can't go into every building, but you can go into a lot of them. Luckily, I can actually go into this one and climb to the top, and then I can scope out. And Gavin, you'll see how far you can see, and it's nuts.
Oh, that is cool.
I like the chat. Someone's just like, I have no equipment, but I just raided the hospital. LOL. Like, what does that even mean?
You can actually get to the point where you can get blood.
Oh.
And I haven't gotten that far, so where you can get a blood transfusion, but you need to get somebody else to help you to get a blood transfusion. I think that's
So
what
you end up like crawling towards a survivor with a packet of blood, being like,
Put
"Give
this
give
in
a
me."
hand. Put it in.
yeah. But you'll actually see like this color palette in the game, my blood is drained a little bit, so
Oh,
my
that's why it's
colors
kind of-
are muted. And once I get some more blood in me, I guess it'll pick back up.
So does blood slowly regenerate over time, or do you have to get a
No.
transfusion?
No, it's like this constant, persistent attempt to stay alive.
What would be cool is if you could take blood from yourself and take your health down, and then it recharged, but you had that blood for use in an emergency. That'd
Let
be
me
awesome.
tell you something. It's exactly like we talked about when there's persistent death and it is a zombie apocalypse. Everyone is out for themselves. Like
Yeah.
I ran into 2 survivors in the city, which we're going to come to in a minute here. We get to a city, which is nuts. And here,
Is that a
Gavin, I'm
zombie?
going to try
Oh.
to take out a zombie with my rifle, and watch what he does when he hears that rifle go off. He's like,
Oh man, your
"Fuck
ear,
it, I'm coming!"
your ear indicator went really huge when you shot.
Yeah, this game is big about realism of when you can fire. Like, you can't just run and shoot.
Can that zombie climb the ladder?
Yes, zombies can climb
Oh,
ladders.
God.
So they
Oh,
could make it
no,
up.
no.
Okay, now here's the deal. So I was in this lighthouse for a while, but you can see there's nothing really around me besides these few houses. And so I logged out. And the way this game works is you log out and your character persists. At any other server you log into, you log in with the same character in the same place. And so I logged back in here later, and there's actually a survivor here walking on the beach.
Oh, is that a survivor? Because I see a bunch of other things walking around. Like there's another.
So how do
thing
you
up
tell if
there.
it's a survivor? Do you just have to look at the way they're walking and see
Yeah,
if it looks
you'll
suspicious?
learn to tell by the way they move. Like, you can see some zombies out there in the field, but this is a survivor.
Oh, there's you asking. Look,
I'm chatting. Who's by the lighthouse?
You're ready
I'm
to open fire.
Interrogating the guy. And dude, it's the apocalypse. If you don't answer soon enough, people will shoot you. So, bang, I shoot
oh
the
my
guy.
god!
I shot-
Wow.
Because he didn't
Wow.
answer.
Yeah, because he didn't answer. But then he
How long did you give
immediately-
him? 8 seconds.
I gave him like 10
Oh,
seconds.
there he goes.
Now he's
just passing
answering.
through.
Take it easy, man.
But this scavenger system they have, it gets pretty complex. Like, I saw people who were in cars. I saw somebody on a bike.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you can have a car. So do you have to like park your car where no one will take it?
Well, you find car parts and you repair an abandoned car.
This sounds
Wow.
awesome. I
Yeah.
want to play this.
I know.
So you're teaming up with the guy you just shot now, are you?
Pretty much. I don't think he knew that I shot him. And I watched him shoot a sheep.
You walk over with
Must have
your
been
rifle.
someone else with a rifle.
Yeah. You're also just slowly smoking, and
And so we decided we were going to travel together for a little while.
now you're asking each other for directions. It's really oddly realistic, like creepily so.
Yep. And it is that factor of your death is permanent that adds to you're very careful. Like you'll watch him. We've been walking for a few miles. He's still crouch walking. He's not going to alert anything at any point.
Can you do the zombie walk?
Well, no, you can't. That'd be
That'd
funny.
be
Like
cool,
you can mimic a zombie.
It'd be like a risk you would take through the zombies, but you'd also risk being shot by survivors. That'd be
Yeah.
funny. So what's the temperature about?
I don't know.
42
I've
degrees
even found
Celsius.
heat
It's kind of hot
packs
out there.
Before, but
packs.
I don't know what it does. Maybe there's a thing in this game, and you'll see here. This is when I discovered the city. I was like, "Holy crap! This enormous
God.
city." But there's a thing in this game that's really interesting, and I'm not sure I like it or not. And that is, there's weather effects. That was good timing. And there's also a thing with the time of day where it's locked to the real world. So I play on a server in Dallas. So when it's nighttime in Dallas in the real world, it's nighttime in the game.
Screw that.
So
Oh, God.
if you play the game at night, you're always playing at night in the game. And if you play during the day, you're always playing during the day. Like I was playing this on like a weekend day.
I would be such a baby. I would log off as soon as the sun goes down.
Oh, wait till you see what it looks like at night. So I was wandering around the city here, and I was trying to find a place to kind of hole up.
Devin
And-
was killed.
Oh, poor Devin. What happened to you? There's somebody running around there. Occasionally, you'll see like a survivor running through the city. He's followed by like 20 zombies. You're like, "Good luck, buddy."
Nope.
I'm not helping you. So I found this. I found like a secret upstairs apartment here in this cafe.
Is that a beer tap? Shit, I'd live here too.
Yeah. And then back here behind this curtain, I was just looking for stuff, and then I found this like 2-apartment loft back here. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna make this my base of operations for the city. And so I went up there, checked some stuff, trying to find a way to store some stuff, and then I was gonna go out and scavenge from this, central point of operations. But I thought it'd be a good idea to show you guys like what this looks like when you get into nighttime. Because this game being ultra realistic, nighttime is a pretty serious deal.
That sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
Already.
And is all the power off in the city?
Yeah, there's no power. In fact, the only way you can tell if you can get into a building or not is if you can see in the windows. That's a good indication that you can enter that building in some way. And then the big thing is you have to check for survivors because the survivors are worse than the zombies. They'll shoot you just because you have a can of beans.
It's getting kind of psychological human behavior.
Yeah,
I
listen-
guess what would happen in a real apocalypse is going to happen online too, where you're going to be very protective over your stuff, and that's all that matters to you.
And you will stand about half a mile away from people and be talking on chat, like yelling basically, and you decide I'm not going anywhere near this
I
person.
imagine-
What does eating food do? I saw you just eat.
Yeah, well, there's a thing here. I'm eating food because I have food on the ground that's not going to fit in my inventory. So why not eat my food and then pick up other
So there's a
stuff?
hunger bar and a blood bar, is there?
And a water bar.
Oh,
Yeah. So
holy
you have
crap.
to keep up with water, and you have to keep up with food, and you have to keep up with
See,
blood.
if I was in a zombie apocalypse and I stumbled upon like a group of 8 survivors, I'd be just as scared as stumbling on 8 zombies.
Oh
to be
shit, is
honest.
this nighttime?
This
Oh
is
my
nighttime. So this is what it's like at night. This is actually pretty dark. The capture's a little darker than what it was on my screen, but it still gives you the effect of...
Really? Because it looks like the monitor's off.
I know, right? Yeah, it's like you have this idea that you're in an environment.
So can you, if you're in a car, can you choose whether to turn your headlights on or off?
I've never been in a car.
Oh, okay.
I've never gotten to the point where I've gotten a car. I usually die after like half a day.
So is there any sort of like currency? Like say you found some survivors and you wanted to sell them your car for supplies.
Just barter. You just
Yeah,
trade
like
stuff like, oh, I have 2
ammo or-
watches.
And it's like you have to actually talk to them about it. There's
Yeah.
no like interface for that. You'd be like,
But
I've
they
got,
could
I've
just-
got a card. Can you give me all of your
They
heroin?
could just take the car.
And like here, here I'm gonna toss a flare so you can see the importance of flares.
Whoa!
So now I can see, and I use this flare to work this city block to find zombies and to look in buildings.
That was some awesome lighting effects.
It's pretty cool. And actually,
Yeah.
I found one of the coolest items ever right here. There's a package, and I find a ghillie suit. So,
Weird.
yeah, there's all sorts of stuff that you can find, and that'd be
That's
really
not-
useful for hunting survivors.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not useful for zombies, but against survivors, I bet that's pretty useful.
Yeah, it might help you because it just might make you less visible for zombies too. I haven't used any of the chem lights, but I'm sure those would help you glow, or help you, glow the area so you can search more buildings and things like that. But the creepy thing is you're always hearing the zombies too as they're close by, but you don't know where they are.
I wonder if you could print out a chat from one of these games.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, there's one.
No, I
no.
didn't pick. He didn't pick me up. Thank God.
You could probably give a chat transcript to a person, and they would think it was a real like movie script from
Yeah.
the zombie outbreak. You would be coming up with lines that you would say if you're actually in this situation.
We're at the hospital, LOL.
Maybe not. Maybe
But it's
not
great.
the-
Like look, there are people who will stop you on the road, hold a gun on you, a group, and they won't kill you, but they'll say, "Drop all your stuff and leave."
yeah.
Like they will rob you. And there's a thing in the game, which I don't know if they've implemented yet, where they're saying that if you kill enough people, it will change your character model to another one. Like in Counter-Strike, essentially, there's the terrorist model. So you know people that are bandits. You can see them on sight that they're more sketchy.
Everyone knows you're a prick when you walk by.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you saw the dudes like in an apocalyptic movie who look like they're trouble.
Yeah.
These guys look like trouble.
Lock your doors.
Yeah. So anyway, that is DayZ. It's a free mod that you have to add on to the paid game Arma2, which is on Steam. You should definitely try it out. We talked about it on the podcast today on Rooster Teeth.
It looks awesome. How much is it?
I think it's like $39 for Arma2, Operation Arrowhead, which is the DLC that you have to have. And then there's also an additional DLC called Private Military Company that raises the resolution of the character models. You can get that optional.
PC or Mac?
It's on PC. There is no Mac version of it.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
I'll have to reboot.
thumbs up. Fun game.
Awesome.